Good afternoon. I'd like to thank all of our drivers for joining this afternoon for our 2 o'clock safety call. Joining me today is Jason O'Brien, our Hours of Service Manager.
Good afternoon.
And we have Rob Walton, our recruiter here at Ace Doran.
Good afternoon.
All right. With further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. I'd like to lead off with our safety numbers for the month. So this is for our April numbers here. I'll go with the ACE BME side first. Our unsafe driving inched up 4 percentage points to 57%. Hours of service moved up also in April 1% to 71%. Vehicle maintenance held steady at 82%. Driver fitness stayed the same at 0. Our DOT crash number moved down 1 percentage to 47%. And our drug and alcohol basic moved down 1 percentage point to 6. On our government-secured win side, unsafe remained at 1%. That is a very great score. I'd like to thank everyone who works underneath that. Keep that going. Hours of service went down significantly. It dropped 25 percentage points. We're now at 15% on our hours of service. Great job. Vehicle maintenance moved down 6 percentage points to 19. Driver fitness stayed the same at 0. And our DOT crash also remained the same at 2%. All right. I would like to remind everybody to hit star 3 if they have a safety tip or question they want to ask at the end of our meeting. Star 3. I would like to take time to recognize our drivers who've had clean inspections in the last 30 days. Those are Danny Terry, Brian Atwater, Gary Stafford, Mark Watson, Kevin Nelson, Terry Robinson, Eugene Hatch, Joey Veal, Charles Austin, and Clinton Harden. On the WIN government side, we had LZ McIntyre and Rodney Karsner. I appreciate all the hard work you individuals do to make sure you get clean inspections. Greatly appreciated. On our claims side, we're doing a really good job on the claims so far this year. Second quarter, we're looking exceptionally well. Our goal for the second quarter is to have our claims under $129,000. So far through the last week here of May, we are almost $47,000 to the good. I just want to encourage everyone to make sure they are doing what they need to limit our exposure to liability and to cargo claims. The only thing that I've seen here lately is some cargo claims where we have issues with securement. Make sure you're checking your loads often and they are properly secured. We did have an accident here about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago where we were transporting some metal framing and it came off the trailer within 60 miles of the consignee. The bracing or blocking that they had that the customer provided was soft wood and ended up breaking in half and it slid off. You need to make sure you're looking at that also. If it's not your blocking, don't accept it if it's not up to your standards. And if it is deteriorating, you're going to need to replace it as soon as you notice it, and don't hope to make it because obviously that may not be what happens. All right. I would like to introduce Jason right now to the call. Jason, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Well, I know this is all a very exciting time for us in safety because we're coming up to the Roadcheck 2018. Can you tell us what we're looking forward to this year?
Well, with the Roadcheck, which is going to occur between June the 5th and June the 7th, it's going to have a focus, of course, on hours of service with the e-log mandate being something that happened in December. So that's the area that we want to focus on this year.
Is there anything in particular on the hours of service that we think inspectors are going to look at during the 72-hour blitz?
One of the highest violations that are received during any blitz usually has to do with the form and manner. So make sure, like, whether you have e-logs or paper logs, that the bill of lading numbers are getting in there, trailer, your driver, ID, and use, if you're on some of the people that are grandfathered on the paper logs with older trucks, make sure you're using the 70 hours column on the right-hand side of your paper log to keep track of that. Been noticing that's kind of become a little bit of an issue.
Anything else that you think we're going to look at? What about if you're having issues with your logs? Just the other day, we had one of our drivers who was on an electronic log and it went down.
Well, yes. Of course, occasionally you might have an e-log go down. You should know what the procedures are in that situation. The first thing that you'd want to do, depending upon who your e-log manufacturer is, so if it's like Rand McNally, the Keep Truckin', or Omnitrax, is probably to call that company and see if they have a solution for you over the phone. If for some reason they're unable to assist or help you with that, call the safety department here, call me directly, and I'll go ahead and do what we need to do to make it happen. So we'll have to send out your last 7 days in an email format, so you have those. You can print them, of course, if you want once you receive them. It helps me so we can go ahead and track it. And you all need to receive a letter from the driver stating what the malfunction is that needs to go into your driver file as well to be filed for 12 months.
One of the things I've been reading here lately in some of the trade publications is that drivers need to know whether or not they have an ELD or an AOBRD. Can you explain a little bit about that and the difference between the two?
Well, yeah, the systems are there's a lot of similarities between the two, but they do actually have different things that happen in the back office part of things for the most part. So if you have an AOBRD or an ELD, it's hard to even tell which we might be using. I feel like the term ELD has kind of become like a Coca-Cola of sodas. So even though you might ask for a Coke, a Pepsi would be acceptable. As you might have heard a million times at restaurants, and they'll ask you if Pepsi's okay, and you say yes, because really you just want a soda. So the ELD has kind of become that, where the term ELD is referred to any type of like electronic device that records your hours. An AOBRD, however, doesn't need to be registered with the FMCSA in the sense that logs have to be transmitted from the device to the FMCSA for authorized personnel to view, where an ELD does have to do things like that. It is important to know which one you have in an inspection. If the officer asks you what type you have, and you tell them that you have an ELD and they see that it's not registered with the FMCSA, then that would be a 5-point violation. So it's important to know. So just call me and ask, because we are kind of all over the board with that, and everybody could have different things in that situation. So if you're not sure, just ask. And I would also say if you aren't sure, don't say it's an ELD. Just say your logging device or something like that, to where you're not saying it's an ELD, to where it expects it to be registered with the FMCSA.
If you're able, I know with the AOBRDs, like the RANs, I know not all of them are electronic logging devices yet. Some of them still have the older software. Those are the ones that typically all you can do is transmit it via either faxing it to them or emailing the officer the logs, correct?
Yes. If you have an AOBRD, it will be to fax or email, but an ELD will also be able to do those two functions.
Okay.
But it has the added availability to send them to the FMCSA.
That's their headquarters or wherever they're supposed to go.
That's correct.
Correct. Okay. So you really can't tell unless you know exactly what you got, which you can help them with that.
Absolutely.
All right. Good to know. Is there anything else we're expecting from this roadside?
Another thing that I did want to mention would be just personal conveyance, again, and how to use that and not use it. A lot of times people, of course, are still misusing that, and that would be a false log violation. And if you do use the personal conveyance, of course, it's in there within your past 7 days, so they're able to go back and see that for up to a week. So it is just for short personal trips from a driver's en route lodging, and that's pretty much it. Unless you're a short haul driver, there's another exception. But for over the road drivers, the only thing is short personal trips from a driver's en route lodging. You can't use it to take it to the shop or to position yourself or go to the job site or something like that. It's only for short personal trips for en route lodging.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
All right.
Besides the emphasis that the FMCSA is putting on hours of service, I just want to remind all of our drivers that they will be looking at other things also. So let's just make sure we're doing complete and exhaustive tractor and trailer inspections. Repair all items that are noted on your inspection report as soon as you see them. The other thing you should do is review your permit book. Make sure your cab card, you have a current cab card with you, trailer registration, Insurance certificates, are they up to date? Make sure they're current. Lease agreement. You should have a copy of the lease agreement in your permit book. That can be a violation if you don't have that also. So just make sure you look all that stuff over and everything from a paperwork standpoint is current. Star 3, if you would like to ask a question or have a safety tip at the end of the meeting, I just remember Star 3. Now I'd like to turn over to Rob. He is our recruiter here based out of Cincinnati. Rob has been with us for, what, about 3 months now?
Almost 3 months, yeah.
3 months, all right. Time goes quickly. Rob, I'll just turn it over to you, and if you just want to tell us a little bit about your background here.
All right. Basically what I've done is I came from the van world with a third-party company recruiting drivers and owner-operators all over the country. Now I've found my way to Ace, and so far everything has been great. Great people to work with, and we are constantly looking for owner-operators all over.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit what we're looking for as far as qualifications, what we're currently offering as far as any referral money?
Absolutely. Right now, we do have a $1,000 referral bonus for any of you out there that know anybody to send them our way. They can apply online if they go to acedoran.com and then under the tab Drive for Ace, and then they just click Apply Now, and they can fill out the online application. The requirements right now, they're looking for 2 years over the road experience for for vans, and then they need to have at least 6 months of flatbed or step deck in the past 2 years. They also need to have clean MVRs and a good CSA score. Sometimes drivers think they may or may not be qualified. So give me a call and let me run everything and go over things with you just to see if we can get you qualified and get you in the door. Also, at times we have some small fleet owners that have trucks available. So if you know any drivers, not just necessarily owner-operators, if you want to send them our way, we can try to match them up with another owner and find a home for them.
Oh, cool. And so right now we're running a referral program for $1,000. I believe it's, $500 upon dispatch and then another $500 after 90 days?
Correct. That is, again, that's as soon as they come in for orientation, they take their first dispatch, they get $500. And then after the 90 days, they'll get another $500.
Oh, excellent. Do you want to give everyone your telephone number so they can get a hold of you directly?
Absolutely. You can give me a call at 513-853-3880. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, I'm always asking for truck pictures of you guys that are out there with, some cool scenery or pulling some, different loads or anything like that. You can email those pictures to me at rwalton@acedoran.com. We're always looking for pictures to post on our Facebook page, and so if you could send those, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, I know some of those classic trucks get a lot of likes and a lot of interest on those.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of pictures or get a lot of attention on those old cab over pictures that we have on there, as Mr. Burdick calls them, the old iron. We get a lot of likes on that, and we get a lot of likes on these big bunks that have been rolling in here over the past couple of weeks as well.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rob. Just to remind everyone, Star 3, looks like we have one caller in queue, so if you want to go ahead and do that, we would be happy to take questions and or safety tips. While we're waiting for some people to queue in, just want to remind everybody here, I've got a safety notice from one of our customers concerning their PPEs. So when you go on to customer sites, let's just make sure you're following their safety protocols. For the most part, they're pretty uniform. Make sure you're always wearing your hard hat. Safety goggles are on. Your shirts usually have to be long sleeve covered, long pants, hard closed-toed shoes, and high visibility vests or equivalent. So let's make sure we're following their protocols and doing as instructed. All right, Star 3, we're going to go ahead and take our first caller. Anyone with questions or a safety tip, giving out $25 gift cards. So currently we have, it looks like Bernie.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, fine yourself. Hey, I have a question. On our inspections, okay? I went to Speedco to get my tractor and trailer inspected. They said I had an air leak on my maxi brake, which I went down the pit, I did see it and hear it. Anyhow, they wanted like $300 to change a maxi and a 3030 maxi, and I wasn't giving them $300 for that. So they said, well, just bring it back. So I went back the following day, which was Sunday. Couldn't get a hold of nobody in safety, but anyhow, it cost me $48. Why do we go there if they're going to recharge us for that? That made no sense because I parked right across the street from Speedco. They could see my truck. I pulled out, changed it, went back over there Sunday, and they had to do a complete inspection. He said, and you don't get no time. It's you had to redo the whole inspection again.
Well, that's a little odd. I don't. Is Speedco on our? Are they on our list, Jason?
Yeah, Speedco is on the list, and if you get the truck re-inspected within 48 hours, it's supposed to not have an additional charge for that. It should just be the one charge. With Speedco, that's paying for the inspections. Anyhow, we'll work that out separately, but they shouldn't have recharged you for that. It should just be the one inspection.
Yeah, and if we have an account with. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bernie. If we have an account with them, they should be charging us directly. But that's correct. If you go back within a short time period after you made the repair, it's not a new inspection, so we'll have to take that up with them.
Yeah, it cost me $47. I sent it to you, but I never got reimbursed for it. It was $47.
When was that? This month?
Yeah, the last inspection we just had, Dale. This is Dale. I don't know. I know it's Jason, but that's I'm just saying. It was because they made me pay it again. I said, why do I have to pay? I said, I just had it done, and they said that's our policy. I said, well, I'm going to tell our company because I don't think our company knows. I said they'll probably go somewhere else.
We'll look into it. We'll look into it and take care of that. They shouldn't have done that. So Jason's
all right
for right now. So all righty.
That was the only thing I had. The only question I had.
All right. Thank you, Bertie.
All right.
Remember, *3 if you have any questions or tips. It looks like we had someone calling in and they dropped. Mickey. All right. Well, the queue is wide open. If there's any additional safety tips or questions regarding the Roadcheck 2018 that's coming up, we look forward to taking them right now.
Well, yeah, there were some other things that I just wanted to mention again, which I don't mean to sound like a broken record on all these calls, but, you do, with the portable ELDs that we use, you do want to make sure that your phone or tablet, of course, is mounted while you're using it. We've been doing really good with that. And then also you should have an instruction card with you in the cab. So if you don't have one of those, let me know. I can either send you a physical card that we give out here, or at least email it to you and you can print it. But you do need to have one of those with you as well, and that'll be something that they'll be checking with this roadside inspection.
Oh, thank you. That just jogged a thought on my mind too, Jason, is when we're coming into these inspection sites, let's make sure we're paying attention to all the signage around the inspection area. There's no sense in picking up any sort of unsafe by either exceeding a speed limit or being out of the lane or anything like that. So just need to make sure we're paying attention to all that and we're really on top of our game. Our goal is to obviously get the clean inspections. That's what we're shooting for. Clean inspections will help our score. If we're not picking up violations, will help us get scores lowered in some of these categories in which we are over. *3 for any questions or safety tips. Right now it's wide open, so we'll take those. If not, we will have another call this evening at 7 o'clock for those individuals who are not able to make it. Jason, you had another comment?
We had just one more thing. It is May 30th today, so any May inspections are due by tomorrow. So if you don't have those done, of course, if you have time this evening or tomorrow, you want to get those in, of course, as soon as possible. Kind of at this point, we're at the final days here.
Too. Thank you for that valuable reminder, always. Not to mention that would be good if you are due this month, to just give you reassurance that your truck will be lined up to make sure you pass the vehicle inspection side of the blitz.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, looks like all of a sudden we had a bunch of callers wanting to come in now. All right. Is Preston not ready yet? Yeah. He is? All right. So let's bring Preston on the line. Preston?
Yes.
How are you?
Doing good. You?
I'm doing well. Did you have any questions or a safety tip?
Well, more of has to do with inspections. The other day, last week, I ended up having to drop my personal trailer for a company trailer to run a particular load for them, and I got kind of hung on that trailer for a few days. And when I went to do my inspection at the TA that I run by, I didn't have my personal trailer. So when they did the inspection on my personal truck, it would not allow them to bill the system out to come to Ace because it was telling them that it had to be a truck and a trailer inspection. So I ended up having to pay for that out of pocket. I did, I believe, send Jason a text showing the picture of it and the bill of it and everything else like that. But is that normally how it is set up in their system, to where if you're not on your personal trailer but you still have to get your inspection done, is that the right way to handle that?
Well, this is Jason, Preston, and that's one way to handle it. And in this situation, of course, we're going to get that taken care of for you.
Sure.
But at the TA, I feel like there was maybe a disconnect on what they thought they were able to do. But I guess when they were looking in the system, it was saying that they can only do tractors and trailers together, so they weren't going to bill us for just the tractor. But they can do that, and other locations have done that in the past. So I guess whoever was helping you there just didn't quite understand the system and how it works. But yeah, we'll get you taken care of on that.
They are a large
No problem. I didn't know if that was just at one location or if that was something pretty common throughout.
Yeah, just at one location, I would say. We don't generally run into that issue.
Yeah, they're a large
Also on personal conveyance, I know there's a lot of different things that are floated around, and I know the company can take a stance on it however they choose to with people and so on. But I've had a DOT tell me on personal conveyance that as long as you're unlading, no trailer, no load, you're on your personal time, basically, and you own the truck. Basically, you could go 5 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles. You could do whatever as long as you return back to your truck or to your trailer, or actually to your trailer or your load, in order and restart your time from that point there. I heard very similar to that on YouTube of a federal DOT high-up individual trying to explain everything to everybody or whatever, and they kind of use pretty much the same verbiage as well, that it really didn't matter. If you go off duty in XYZ town and then you want to go home, and home is, whatever miles away, or do whatever, as long as you come back to that location and you restart, that while you're off unlading and you're on personal conveyance, that's your time. Is that, and I realize it sounds like the company's taking a completely different stance on that versus what I was told on either the video or by the DOT.
Yeah, with personal conveyance, when you read the actual regulation, it's open to interpretation, and that's why they have guidance sections in the regulation manual saying this is what it says, and the guidance section says this is what we were really trying to say. And when you read that, you can probably interpret that a lot of different ways, and that's why a DOT officer might say one thing, and the guy on YouTube is saying another. But how we interpret that is when we read it and we read that guidance is that it's for very limited use. And the majority of driving, any time that you're in your truck, is going to be on-duty driving time. Any off-duty driving time, how we read it, is going to be just for those short personal trips. But I often do hear people say, oh, I was taking my truck to the shop, I was doing this for my truck, or I was going to the job site. And it is your truck. And even though I might feel like that, and that DOT officer might feel like that, or the guy on YouTube feels like that, the next DOT guy might not feel like that. And if he feels like it's a thing where that's not the proper use of it, we're going to get that violation. So the reason we have such a conservative view on it is because we want to avoid those violations, because that's going to be a false logs and 10 points and hours of service. And that's not where we don't want to get those when we feel like those are avoidable.
Right.
Does that kind of answer your question there?
Yeah, he does. I mean, I realize it's fairly open, and the stance we need to follow is obviously the stance that the company, is going to stand by. So I just wanted to let you, which I know we all kind of assumed and have heard that, there's many different versions of what that is, and it would be really helpful for everybody if either we all just adopt the company one, or if there is better verbiage somewhere that we all can make sure we follow. I do know I've been doing a lot of loads at an area that is nowhere near, a truck stop or whatever. The closest truck stop might be 40 miles away, and I'm stuck in outside of a mine or whatever. And if I need to go, shower, eat, do a number of things on a personal level, I know 40 or 50 miles to a TA and back, that creates a 100-mile trip where you're basically in the middle of nowhere. So I don't want to. Obviously, I want to take care of myself personally if need be, but at the same time, I don't want to overstep a boundary either.
Right, and we understand that. And the issue has been brought up to the FMCSA that that being as general and broad as kind of what it is, and not really having a focus on what we need to do, that they are going to be clarifying what that actually means. So expect that in the future. I know that they're working on that now.
Excellent. Thanks.
Thank you, Preston. All right. We have another caller. Tim, inbound caller. Bolton? Bolton, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Bolton.
Yeah, this is Sean.
Oh, Sean,
hey,
okay.
Sean, yeah. Hey,
okay.
I got a question for you guys. Me being new to the company and everything, does Ace have a certain area they want their annuals done, certain places I need to go to have them done, or does it matter? Or?
Oh, yeah, for our 90-day equipment inspection, you can go, our national accounts are with TAs, but then we have the approved list, so depending on where you're going to be, you can call Jason or Joanne up, and they'll let you know what vendors in that area are approved.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if Love's was approved or not, or...
Yes, it's Love's Pico.
Oh, Love's Pico.
Yeah, Love's is going to be, I think, pretty much partnered now with Speedco, and the majority of those are all going to be okay. But yeah, there's a pretty big list of approved locations. If you like to go to smaller shops, those are on there. TA, of course, makes it real easy, though, as far as the billing process, because we do have an account with them. And Speedco, if you go to the smaller shops, a lot of times they'll insist that you pay, and then we have to, work it out for you.
Yeah. One thing you just want to steer clear of is just the off mom and pa shop. If they're not approved, we're not going to accept.
Okay. Now, where can I get my hands on that list?
We can get one sent to you.
Yeah, I'll send one to you right after we get off the call here.
Okay. All right. That was the only question I had. I was just kind of curious on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Next on the line, we have Hubert Spencer. Hubert, you there?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just want to make sure I'm not confused. I'm on my paper logs, and my cell phone doesn't have to be on some rigid thing, does it? All I use my cell phone for is what I'm doing right now, talking to you.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be on a rigid.
Oh, you mean mounted?
Right.
Right. That, that's only going to be if you're using e-logs.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I thought, well, maybe I better double check.
Yep.
So that's. When are you guys getting back to Youngstown?
Probably sometime later this summer, early fall. We'll be back in Youngstown.
Okie dokie. So.
We look forward to going to the Petro there.
Okay.
All right.
So, thank you.
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. If anyone else has any questions or wants to make a safety tip, *3, the queue is opening up. Brian Breckles is next up. Brian? Hello, Brian? All right. Must be having some technical difficulty here with Brian. Can't get them?
Yep.
Nope. All right. So currently we don't have any other callers here in the queue, so we're just going to wrap it up here and remind everybody, if you did want to join us, we have another call tonight at 7 o'clock to try to get some of the individuals who were not able to join us today at 2, make sure they get this important information and that we are ready for Roadcheck 2018. Hold on, I'm getting... Jason, did you have any words of wisdom?
No, I did just want to thank, of course, all the drivers out there. I appreciate the people that called in to make it more of a conversation than a conference call, and I appreciate everything you guys do for us.
All right, hold on. We got Brian's back on the line. Brian?
Try this again.
Hello, Brian? All right. Brian?
Okay, it might help if I unmute my phone.
There you are.
I was going to say that, joking around. All right.
Anyway, I'm a member of OIDA. Got 3. I did have a third one, but 2 of them, most importantly.
Okay.
The 30-minute exemption for heavy haul.
All right.
Is Bennett or Ace filed an exemption?
You know what? I don't think, I'll have to check. I'm sure we did. The only way you qualify for that, though, is all your basics have to be under the threshold, which the secured side, the WIN government team is. I believe I've sent those out maybe last year to people. I'll have to see when that expires, though.
Well, I was rejoined the team in February.
Okay. All right. I will look and find the exemption, and I can send that out to you, all right?
Well,
hold on. Jason thinks he's got it, too.
Oh, yeah, I've already got that exemption letter downloaded, so we can send that to you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, second point. There's been a lot of talk online about distracted driving.
All right.
And some states are going overboard, in my opinion. But if your hands aren't on the wheel at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and there's anything within reach of your hand, or you have an open container of any kind, taking a drink of coffee, water, anything of that nature, writing tickets, especially to commercial drivers.
Yeah. Do you know what states in particular is doing that?
Nebraska, one of them.
Okay. So, I have not seen anything like that yet, but I will tell you from what I've seen from experience, just to remind everybody, as commercial drivers, you're the professionals, and a lot of law enforcement won't give any slack to that. They expect commercial drivers to adhere to all regulations and other laws out there more so than regular motorists.
Well, one ticket that a driver had posted online recently was the fact that he has a standard shift older truck, and they wrote him a ticket for not keeping his hands at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that just something you saw online then? Because I had not seen that.
Well,
regulation or something.
I don't know, because usually what I can tell is like hands-free devices are generally you can use them as long as you can be able to do with one finger touch is the regulations I've seen. So I don't know where they're going with that type of enforcement, but
California and Nevada have gotten into that a lot in the last couple of years, especially with Nevada.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they were writing tickets there in Las Vegas a couple of years ago for drinking out of an open container of any type.
Yeah, I know. A lot of us are creatures of habit. The one thing I just want to remind everybody too is, like if your phone goes off. I know here even within the Ace fleets, we've had last year a driver who just grabbed his phone and put it up to his ear, and he got a ticket for talking while driving. So just be mindful of that stuff for sure. You definitely can't be doing things like that. So.
Well, I'm just talking about stuff outside the norm. Like, you know, we all know that we're responsible for not using a handheld device and things of that nature. But, you know, we drive long hours and we deserve some sort of comfort.
Yep. Do you have any other tips, Brian?
Or the third one, but I can't think of it. Maybe I'll bring it up next time. But
okay.
I appreciate it.
We're having this in at 7 o'clock again, so you're more than welcome to join us at 7.
Okay. Are y'all gonna ring us in or no?
We will ring out people who were not on this particular call. Since you were on it, you won't have a dial out, but you can call in the number.
I did think about the third one.
Okay.
The required in-person safety meetings.
Okay.
I'm in the wind division, so
yep.
That's, you know, and I've been in the opposite direction of when y'all have gone out to meet us.
I am going to be out on the road starting next week. I'm going to be in Oklahoma. I'll be in Tulsa and then Enid. Tulsa the first part of the week and Enid towards the end. And then the following week, I'm trying to put the schedule together to be in Illinois, the Clinton area, and trying to get some drivers out of there. I'm working with Tony on what the pickup delivery areas are.
Okay. What about the Plainview, Texas area?
I have not scheduled anything down there yet. Where are you picking up? Do you have any pickup points in Oklahoma?
Sounds like y'all had a police officer drive up in there.
We were just down the street from a fire station, so it's kind of noisy here from time to time.
Anyway, the reason why I asked that is because in the next, Tony Parsons said in the next 90 days, our lane is going to be Tulsa, Oklahoma to Tahoka, Texas, just south of Lubbock.
Okay. Yeah, but that's why I'm going to Tulsa here next week, because there's quite a few of you loading out of Tulsa here.
Okay. Have you settled any dates yet?
Yes. June 4th and 5th, I will be in Tulsa. Hampton Inn there at Catoosa, exactly.
Okay. Well, I won't be back. I won't be loading there till about the 7th or 8th.
Okay. Then I will be in Enid, Oklahoma on I believe it's the 6th. That should be the Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to work it out. But
okay.
The reason why I suggested Plainview is because there is a GE drop yard there with several acres of parking for those of us that are larger trailers and trucks.
All right. When I looked at the schedule, I noticed that everyone loading out of Tulsa is going to Tacoma, which I'd already catch them. Yeah. I figured if I'm catching them on the front end, I'd also be seeing them on the back end, so it'd be the same people. So I tried to mix it up and get, people in different areas.
Okay. All right. Well, are you going to be meeting there at the drop yard in Enid?
No, I got a conference room at the Hampton Inn in Enid.
Okay, because I haven't met my requirement for the first half of the year yet.
Okay. Well, it's actually quarterly now, so did you get a safety meeting in while you were at, when you did orientation in Houston?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that should count for one, but that was that the first quarter or second quarter?
First quarter.
So you definitely need to get one in. How about you give me a call on my mobile phone, and I'll give you the times and stuff, and then we can coordinate, all right?
Okay, you have access to my information.
Yep.
Would you mind sending it to me?
Yep, can do.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian. All right, we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up here. I would like to thank Brian for just reminding me safety meetings. For those of you who haven't completed a safety meeting, let's go ahead and get that done for this quarter. I think from what I looked last, there's probably like 50 drivers who've done safety meetings so far. So you can jump online, go to Driver's IG, and then there's a button right there. You can do safety meeting online, and the online video is about 12 minutes or so. You can go ahead and get that knocked off, and you can get credit for your second quarter safety meeting. All right. I'd like to thank Jason for joining us, and Rob. I appreciate your guys' input. And if those drivers who want to join us again at 7 o'clock tonight, I look forward to you calling. The number is 877-229-8493, ID code 116871. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.